What is up, everybody? Brendan, Jacob, Sabby. Good morning, good evening. I always love that. I wonder how long it's going to take me to not be fascinated by it. Like, we live in a big world with a lot of time zones. How's everyone doing? It's Thursday, right? So we're coming up on the end of the weekend. At least it feels like it, and I'm excited about that. How are y'all doing? How are you finding 7.2? I had a good time doing a couple lanes last night. That was a lot of fun. Definitely tested out a few things, was getting pretty stubborn about insisting I use certain champions certain ways, and eventually the node showed me, like, dude, you just have to play this node and you will be fine. And it was true, which I enjoyed. I did enjoy, and I think that's part of what we're seeing more and more with story content. Jacob, I am doing great, dude. I am doing exceptionally well. I'm excited to jump into this. I'm going to figure out a lane here, and then we will get started. But let's get some questions going. Let's hear how you all are doing, how your pools are going, and how you're enjoying 7.2. I'm liking it so far. I'm a pretty happy, content customer of the game. I'm doing 7.2.3. So if there's something really specific you guys want to shout out, you're like, dude, take this lane or try these attackers or something, let me know. Otherwise, I think I'm going to take this stacking power. This seems interesting. A lot of buff heavy champions, and then we got special delivery here. Fight or flight obviously is a thing, but I think we can figure that out. Maybe play around it a little bit. None of the defenders seem too insane, from what I can tell. And then let's check out the boss here. The bosses. Yeah, that's right, dude. You were telling me you got a cold. I hope you're feeling better soon. I do. Let's see. We've got Hitmonkey, who I love to take with my boy Archangel. And I'm not seeing anything that makes me think Archangel can't do that fight. So I think this is the lane we're going to take out here. I just looked at it. It was my first lane I checked out. Has anyone done this one? Stacking power, special delivery. None of the defenders look too bad on their own. I could see Quake potentially being kind of annoying. This Daredevil Netflix here, or Hell's Kitchen, I guess he is. But let's get a bunch of buff heavy champions in. I think I'm going to bring in the White Magneto to help out with the few Shruggers there. And then we'll jump right into it. I've got a cold, just getting better. All right, right on. I've only done initial completion a few passes. Man, you've done a lot, though. That's more than I've done. How's the day going? It's going great, man. AC's dropping by. How you doing, buddy? There's a couple of people on the Discord server already like almost done. And then, of course, we've got Agent X and MSD who were throwing out solos of Gwenmaster which felt like they were just like within minutes of it going live. AC just completed 7.2.2 itemless so far. Holy smokes, dude. That is impressive. Congratulations. So we need buffs. And we're definitely bringing in White Magneto. As I said, I definitely want to bring in Archangel. Does anyone know, will Cosmic Ghost Rider get it done? I think we might check out Cosmic Ghost Rider. See if he will get enough buffs. I don't know if he will. Obviously, this Magneto will get some buffs going. And I don't have a lot of champions for buffed lanes. It's not something I have put a ton of effort into. Surfer is good. You know what's weird is how good he's been so far. He soloed the, he would have soloed the Guardian boss in 7.2.1, which I really enjoyed. I enjoyed using him. What's up, Adam? Thanks for stopping by. Mr. McGuire. So far, I'm enjoying it. Like, the thing that I really enjoyed was last night I did a stream and I was trying very hard to force playing my champions a certain way on the node and play my champions the way like I wanted to play them, the way I'm used to playing them. And that just didn't work out. It cost me some items and, it wasn't frustrating because we were having fun. And then eventually I was just like, okay, I'll just play the darn node. And sure enough, it wasn't necessarily easy at that point, but it's very smooth and solos afterwards. So I'm enjoying it. I think I love the change that they've made with story content. They sounded like they heard what we were saying. The rewards definitely reflect that it's not overly niche or punishing, but that's fine. Like, I'm playing the game for fun, and then we get rewards, and we'll rank champions up. So I'm enjoying it. And I believe DLL has jumped on the call. What's up, buddy? How are you doing?
Pretty good. Drinking my tea because I had beer last night, so I'm about a fifth lower than normal.
That's awesome. um,
It's always so dramatic when and it's like only beer. Other drinks do not do the same thing, but I wake up the next morning and I'm like, oh, I'm a bass baritone today.
I had beer. I'm a man. Like that. Wait, hold on. We've got to stop everything. Nilo disrespected our boy Guardian. What did he do? Because I like Nilo, and this does not fit in with the picture of Nilo I have been developing here. I'd like to know what he has done, Jacob. We need to get to the bottom of this as soon as possible.
Hey, yes. Off the top of the chat's head, I don't know how many people are here yet, but is there anybody who does not have any buffs and can parry projectiles? I know Angela has her nullify thing if you have high sig, and I'm leaving her off to the side for the moment.
Can Proxima?
But can you think of anyone?
Can't Proxima do that?
But Proxima has her own fury buffs once you start ramping her, right?
When you complete a mission, something does trigger there for a very short amount of time.
Yeah, she gets that like big prowess, but then I believe they turn into permanent prowess buffs. Yeah. And I think they stay active buffs. I haven't played Proxima in a while, but she was my first thought. But then I was like, no, the minute you get her rolling.
Yeah, which would then defeat the purpose of Proxima, right? What's up, Astro? Right. How you doing, buddy? The Hoochinator. What is up? I feel weird about the game currently, so I'm not that motivated to play. But after doing this completion, I actually feel similar to you now, DLL. How's that? I'm curious, how are you feeling, DLL? There's something... Oh, they're saying Ronin. Are they bringing... Is Kabam doing this? So we've talked about this. We've talked about this, where like some champions are just objectively better than others. There's more in their kit. They can do more, like what I call flow, DLL calls internal synergy. But ultimately, the content that's put out will determine how great a champion is, right? Like, I mean, I can make the point absurd, but if they're like, only champions named Groot can defeat this defender, you're like, well, okay, Groot is now the best champion in the game. And I was saying being ridiculous with it, but we're seeing that with Mr. Negative, right? And it seems like being able to put on, is it Disorient, is extremely helpful. And I don't know exactly why DL is asking this question. I'm sure it's for a very good reason.
Oh, there's an Ebony Maw in one of the chapters that has counter tactics.
Okay.
And so if you just like play him the normally way that you play Ebony Maw, then you end up you try and go for that reparry to land a clean parry, and of course he just does medium, 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 heavy, medium, 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 heavy, and you're losing like huge chunks of life because of counter tactics. But then if you bring most of the usual options who can get around that by just flat out parrying him, he'll use his nullify, get rid of like whatever buff you have, like the armor up for Guardian or the buffs on a low sig or unduped Angela, and then you'll be eating a counter tactics boosted degen, which in one of my fights literally did 17k in one tick.
That sounds really fun.
And so, I mean, I ended up just like, I did almost all of it with Torch before I should have been able to solo with Torch. That was on me. Torch is absolutely capable of it, but I messed up the L2 evade because I find his L2 a little tricky. And then, counter tactics degen. But I was wondering if there was anyone who did not come with their own buff and could parry it. And they're right. I just looked up. So does Ronin... I do not play Ronin. Does Ronin start in guard stance by default? I'm not seeing that mentioned. But they are definitely right. It says stunning opponents even if their attack is non-contact while in guard stance. So sounds like Ronin is maybe the way to go against that Ebony Maw. Savvy says no, so you have to switch into it Oh, okay. So maybe when Jacob was saying similar to me on initial completion, so does that mean you're enjoying the content then, Jacob? Because I really think 7.2 is very well done. There are some hard fights. There are some fights where I don't have counters ranked, or have them at all. But I don't think I've run into anything yet that just feels like, you know, bull pies. I've just run into stuff where it's like, if I was going to take the long run on this, then I could definitely get through this itemless, even without a very high degree of skill if I just had a different champion. As it is, I can probably get through this itemless if I just play really well with these like second tier counters. And I've really enjoyed that.
I know it may not have seemed that way at times, but I was very much enjoying even the beginning of the stream when I was struggling with that lane. Because it felt like what we've asked for, you know? Like, you play the node, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's certain champions it'll be better for than others.
Yeah. Well, and that I actually ended up fighting that Ebony Moth twice because, and this is again completely on me, I did not look at the lane. And it turns out that I did not have anyone who could efficiently take down a counter tactics killmonger at the end. So I was like, all right, doing that again. And I brought in Cosmic Ghost Rider and we were good to go. I have used a few items, but every single time it's been like, I didn't need to. I could have redone this lane and done it without that problem. And it's basically I'm using a 20% revive, which I can grind out instead of using an energy refill. And I don't think I've needed to do more than that yet. So I'm really enjoying it.
Definitely didn't play Surfer perfectly there. I realized there's a lot to him I don't know how to do well. Spin was kind of talking me through using him in a fight the other night and or last night. And I mean, it definitely feels like they have made stuff that's great for him. Like, this lane just feels like it's
100% agreed.
You know,
which one is this? I can't. It's kind of blurry for me on YouTube.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I can see there's a red thing up, but I can't tell what it is.
It's not good. Is it blurred for anyone else? Let me hear. I'll share my screen with you. Make this a little easier.
Because I know I don't know if that was the one that you were doing with Spin yesterday, but there's I think it's energy adoption in. It's not this one.
No,
but third quest, where he was just absurdly good. And it also had this extra bonus where as long as you had one of those two debuffs that it was putting on you active, it paused all of your Furies, armor ups, and prowess buffs. And so you didn't even need to play Surfer properly. You just threw an L1 in the armor up phase and an L1 in the Fury phase, and then you had them permanently the entire fight, and you could just spam L2s, and your guy would probably, I mean, I'm sure he'd end the fight in 1L2 because you'd probably be doing like 40,000 direct damage every hit.
So that's a very real game example of what we were saying is, like, the content that's put out will help determine how great the champion is, right? Like having a node that says, you have Incinerate on you, but it's not that bad, and it's actually going to help you. You know, like, oh, okay, Surfer's amazing for this. I realize I haven't said much to the chat for a while. Kenneth, I think you're talking to me, buddy, and yeah, I could not believe the opening today. Actually, obviously did that a couple of days ago. One. Yeah, it's, you know. But,
well, I think you told me to highlight, but I'll look at the rest.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a quick one. And I had just done enough crystals lately just because of the way it's worked out, like having crystals to open. I was like, okay, I'm going to at least take a day off before I put this other one out. But yeah. He was so Nilo was very unhappy about pulling 6-star Guardian. He even said he was garbage. Nilo. Although
Nilo defends himself later, says, I didn't really mean it. I just know a lot of people like him and I don't. That's a half save.
Yeah. You know, though, Nilo's really funny, and humorous people get extra wiggle room in my book. So that's fine. That is fine.
Covers their personality flaws.
Yeah, exactly. Lord knows I use humor to cover my flaws all the time. So I'm not going to judge other people for it. And what was I going to say, though? He makes a good point, though. Like, we've talked about this. It's like, and I'm getting used to it. It's now habit for me when people ask like if I should rank up a champion, my first answer is I'm trying to make it like knee-jerk reaction. If you enjoy the champion, then okay, let's go down that road. If you don't enjoy the champion, do not rank them because you won't play them. It'll be a waste. Right? So just don't do it. It looks like Mr.
Like, okay.
Yeah, so I'm going to catch up on chats for a bit because, then I'm going to ignore it for a while. Humor. Mr. McGuire looks like he's dropping some Ronin knowledge. Maybe you already got to that. Kim Jong, what's up, dude? Disrespecting the Sleek Guardian. Ooh, Sleek Guardian. I like that. I usually call him Captain Canada to help differentiate between him and Red Guardian. And as DLL made me laugh this morning, pointed out, I'm not about to start calling him White Guardian. So he is not that.
No, that is
that's
bad.
That's going to go a whole direction we don't need to go, considering the other one is Red Guardian.
Canada.
Yeah. Kai, what's up, dude? Kylo Kabam is the most patriotic video in camp. That might actually be true somehow. Anyways.
Okay, Jacob says, change my mindset a little bit. The rewards didn't help with how I've been feeling about the game, but it was enjoyable. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it. Like, it doesn't fix any of my complaints with war. It doesn't fix the fact that I think that AQ should have 5-minute timers. It doesn't fix how I feel about, like, inventory. But, we always ask for, I want interesting content. And they put a lot of time into this. And I think that whatever you feel about the rewards, or if you're ready for it, or is it hard enough, on that bar, is this interesting content? I think they completely succeeded. Nilo says I'm on a roll. I'm not entirely sure why.
Is Iron Patriot here? I think I saw him say hello a few seconds ago. What's up, dude?
Yeah.
IP, are you going to go full Mythic on us again? Or are you just going to shoot for Legend?
Fluffy Pig Monster says champions are good and people refuse to rank them because they're not fun. I mean, that's completely true. Vega and I have a long-standing objection to Stealth Spidey. I don't know if Vega shares it as much as me, but I at least am not a fan of Falcon. I don't even really enjoy Colossus that much. I use him and Magneto when I feel like they're the best option, rather than... Or I use them when I feel like they're what's going to get me through a fight without items, and not before that threshold is met. But earlier I was thinking, like, Dr. Octopus is a good example, because two friends of the channel, J-Nick and Work, are both, very solid players, very smart players, enjoy a wide range of characters. And J-Nick loves Dr. Octopus. It's part of his little special avatar. And Work's like, yeah, I've tried to learn him a couple times, and it's just not for me. Meta says, I've been able to rank 3 Stealthy or Falcon for 2 months, just can't do it. Hi, Meta. I don't think we said hi to you yet. But yeah, I completely feel that.
I've become more dug in on Stealthy. It's just not for me. I guess people like him. That's fine. You're allowed to like him.
Shang-Chi now. It's easy.
Yeah. Well, but I mean, how many times have we talked about, like, well, I guess I could rank up Stealthy and increase my prestige, and that would give me my skill prestige that I've been looking for. And I just don't want to do it. Like, I just don't, and I'm so glad I held off on not doing it. Falcon, I kind of regret not ranking up.
I can see that. I probably would have, he'd be at least R2 for me at this point.
Yeah. This is some of the worst Surfer gameplay I think you'll ever see. I got really, really screwed up in fighting Quake. There was just too much for me to pay attention to.
I definitely died to a Quake on a path at some point.
Yeah, at some point I was just like, okay, I'm just going to have to restart this. But he can own this. Like, there's no doubt in my mind that he could take this whole thing. But I'm just going to use Angela.
I gotta say, I really
much more
hate
simple gameplay. Who do you hate?
I hate flare nodes. I know that a lot of people like them because, like, ooh, big yellow numbers. It's like, yeah, but then you're dead.
Mm-hmm. Which is usually bad.
I hate it. I hate it so much because it's like, would you like to spec into suicides to run this lane efficiently? Because if not, you are probably just going to revive. And honestly, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to leave that path for later because I know there are other flare nodes in here, and I'll probably just spec into suicides once and run them all.
That would be smart. I've for unit reasons, I have been trying not to spec into suicides for AQ with Corvus, and it's just so much better with him. AQ, that is, because you just heal back up. You know, like that's one of the great things about him. And the timeouts,
right?
Is Dream in here?
It
What's up,
wasn't
Dream?
Oh yeah, hey Dream. It wasn't. Oh, Dreamin says Falcon is a no-brainer. Rank 3, took him up as soon as I got him. Yeah, I mean, I think in an objective sense that's probably true, but I just don't really enjoy playing him, so I understand Meta's hesitance. Just on the subject of Angela, before I forget, it wasn't, or on the subject of Suicides Friendly, I was using Angela on a. There's another lane in here. It's called Flail. And it inflicts random debuffs. Actually, I think it's in 7.1.1. Maybe you've already done it then. But it inflicts random damaging debuffs. And so she's already good for that. But even unduped, when they land on her, she can purify them because she has all those buffs. And even though she's healing from them with willpower, the same way that she does with the poison from suicides, it still counts as damage done, and she will gain her regen stacks. And then even better, when I had Odin with her, she was just continuing to, the regen was getting stronger and stronger. And I also brought Mr. Fantastic, so every hit was pausing the regens as well as the Furies and everything else. It was like the perfect Angela lane. It was so much fun.
So, I mean, she's destroying this too. And she's just so much more fluid and easy to play than Surfer. She might be someone I need to consider bringing up. But there's always that, like, well, yeah, but what's next? You know?
Yeah.
Like, we all feel pretty certain that Anti-Venom's come into the game. We've now seen these leaks, and it's like, oh, Maestro, I'd love to play with Maestro. And then a Kabam made champion, that's going to be amazing. Like, it's just, there's always that, like, what's next, that which is actually working out well for me, because it's causing me not to go stupidly insane with my resources. 7.2 is easier than 7.1. Do you agree? So far, I don't. I feel like they're about the same. And most chips aren't. Okay, so that's weird.
Iron Patriot says Flare is pointless to me. A 10-second fight just isn't that fun after 1 or 2. And that's talking from somebody who got the Mythic title and did almost like everything he could with Suicides and Max Recoil on. So I feel very vindicated.
Yeah, and I think Iron Patriot made a really cool. I think it was him, and I apologize if it wasn't, buddy. But in the Discord server, I was kind of like trying to catch up on chat this morning, and someone was talking about Oscillate. I hate Oscillate. I can't stand it. And if I recall, the point was, and it had to have been Iron Patriot, because they were saying, like, if you didn't kill the defender within that window, then you just had to wait. And, like, I get the design of the node.
Stupid risks.
Yeah, and I get the design of the node that, like, the aggressiveness of the AI will reflect, you know, if they're in the Fury stage or the Iron. I understand it. Like, I get it. It's just not I don't enjoy it at all. I just don't enjoy it. What's up, John? How you doing, buddy? How's your Storm X treating you? Are you enjoying that? I hope you are. Dude, you are a monster. You are a monster. Congratulations. Only 1 lane left. I think I said hi to Meta. If I didn't, Meta, I hope you're still here. Hello. And true potential with the greetings of gentlemen. Oscillate is the worst. Yes, it is. Hoochinator, let's get it removed from the game. Oscillate, let's do this. Encroaching Stun might be my least favorite nodes. The only reason I like Encroaching Stun is because when I run up against it, there's usually a Sasquatch on that node, and I have a torch, or they put someone else and I have an Archangel, and therefore it's like the antidote to the poison. But if you don't have that, I think it would be really annoying. I could see that for sure.
I thought it was kind of funny that a couple wars ago, Vega had to remind me, like, hey, I like mained Torch for a while. I can take that node too, because it's just like it's programmed. We see a Sasquatch on that node, and it's like, okay, DLL has taken that literally 20 times.
Well, I mean that's how it works, though,
it's
right?
Just automatic.
That's how it works in a BG. It's like, okay, Sasquatch on.
Yeah, I guess I'm taking lane 8 or 9.
Exactly. Like, but that's just how it works. And I think it was in the BG chat where it's like, well, I guess if we get more Archangels, maybe Vega won't take all the Archangel fights, but then what will he do? Like.
But then, I mean, Vega will probably take the hard Archangel fights that have been proven to work.
Yeah.
Like, we're not going to swap somebody else in on Weapon X immediately. Oh, hey Z, how's it going?
You're being very kind. Hey Z, what's up, dude?
I think Vega will take a certain Colossus fight again then, if he can't take Archangel fights anymore.
Z's just trying to get me back on chitinous thorns with a Warlock. Well, what did we do? Was that like 6 wars in a row or something like that? This is way back when I was in NY. It was ridiculous.
It was a stupid long streak.
I hated that.
Also, hey guys.
Hey, what's up, man? How are you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
Do you know what? I'm in such a good mood. I had a fun stream last night. I enjoy streaming. I enjoy chatting with everyone. This is about as good as it gets for me. So I'm in a great mood.
Dreamin's trying to change that. Says Vega can be your Quaker.
Dreamin's just trying to make sure they win when we match up.
That's going to be a fun one, regardless of how it goes.
If you don't mind me iteming out, I could definitely take our Quake fights for us.
Oh, hey, Oakley.
Oakley's here? What's up, dude? Speaking
of... it says, hope you have a good stream. Be in and out. Oh, driving home.
Right
Enjoy
on.
that.
Well, speaking of great players in SSX.
Yeah, no kidding. It's really funny because the other day in main chat, Oakley said something along the lines of, like, that he doesn't fully think through fights. He just kind of, like, looks at it and goes, that looks like I can do it. And then he takes them. But the funny thing is that so far he hasn't been wrong. And on my side, I was like, I'm assuming he's thinking through these fights because I just, like, we assign him difficult fights. Sometimes we talk through it, but most of the time it's just kind of like a point and shoot.
Dude, there was a YouTuber who used to do... Was it Yeet? Did Yeet used to do war videos? This is way back when we were, like, in WoW, dude. And
yeah, I don't remember, but...
And they would actually say it, like, and you could tell they would be in a fight, and they'd be like, "I didn't really read the node. I'm really not sure what's going to happen. Oh, hey, look, I took a hit. Anyways, so yeah." And then all of a sudden, the fight was done, and you're like, well, "How did you?
Yeah.
You obviously didn't know the node. It was very clear that they did not know the node. Like, I believed what they had said, but they crushed the fight."
Yeah.
If I do something like that, I usually wonder, why am I bad? And not why is the defender bad.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember because my dad always had. There were 2 baseball players he pointed to for this. Where it was like they would talk about it, and they did a back-to-back interview with both of them. Maybe somebody can help me with this, but they were asking, like, how do you maintain such a high batting average? And one of the guys was like, oh, well, I analyze the pitches. I do a lot of practice. I practice my swing. I'm like really careful. And the other one's like, see the ball, hit the ball.
Yeah.
And I know which one I am. It sounds like Oakley says, just don't overthink it is my motto. Yeah, it sounds like you're more of a see the ball, hit the ball guy. And I'm jealous.
Yeah, that's a real thing, man. Especially with baseball. When I played baseball, my coaches would often just be like, Mike, or Vega. I guess you guys all knew my real name. But they'd be like, it would be really weird for my coaches to call me Vega. That would have been strange. And they'd be like, just stop asking questions. Just hit the damn ball. But I thought you were going to go a different direction with that, and yours was better. But I think it was John Smoltz. If there's anyone in the chat who really followed baseball, there was John Smoltz, and I don't know if this was like urban legend or if it was true. But what I'm saying is true as far as people would say it about him. Is that apparently, like, when he was in his prime, he would go to like defenders on the field, like maybe like your left and center outfielder or your like shortstop and your second baseman, and he would say like, "Hey, just be aware. In today's game, I'm going to let them hit the ball towards you today," and like it actually would work out that way.
My dad was a huge Braves fan, so Smoltz is a part of my childhood. Yeah, he was unreal.
He was insane. If you ever get a chance, ask your dad, one, if that story's true, if like somehow that just became like urban legend and made its way down to like my little league in the LA area, or if that like actually happened. Like, I think it was supposed to be like an interview, and he was relatively young at the time, Smoltz.
Yeah, what a monster.
Dude, insanely good. And I just got to welcome Mr. Belding. Mr. Belding's here, and Josh too. And all right, I think I caught up on. Oh, and Dreamin was trying to. Dreamin'. Yeah, that hurt. PWF, what is up, man? I don't even have a snappy comeback for Dreamin's comment. I've been watching Rob's videos too, and Rob's a good player. So it's the one thing that has definitely come through for me is that Rob is very good at this game. I think we can all agree on that.
He is, but it's really funny because both you and I shouted out his channel, and then he had like the 3 worst wars he's had in 5 months, almost back to back. I guess we jinxed him or something.
Eric, thanks for subscribing. Early on, I got the advice, or I enjoy watching videos on YouTube, and there's people who like in the middle. You can tell they're very good at it. There's people who are very good. Like someone who I think is very good at it is Rob Von Schu. His channel's not huge, but I enjoy his channel, and he's very skilled at just kind of at like the right time, just being like, if you're enjoying the content, make sure to hit like and subscribe. And that kind of goes like with the feel he's doing. Like if you've watched the channel, I think you know what I'm saying. And I never got skilled at that, and maybe I should get back to it because you can see the percentage of people who subscribe and not. And I'm like, I just don't want to be annoying. I don't want to be annoying. I don't want to be annoying with it. Rob is very not annoying, but I've also seen other videos where you're like, dude, I didn't need you to take 45 seconds there to remind me. Like, get back to what we're talking about. And I talk a lot anyway, so I
was just thinking about that the other day because I was watching a video and I got to that point and I was like, I have literally never said that once in any of my videos.
Yeah,
which feels like what I want to do, but then you wonder, should I be doing it anyway?
I don't.
So,
what do you think, Z?
actually, from a perspective of somebody who doesn't create really that much stuff, I rather not subscribe if somebody tells me to subscribe. Like,
see, that's what I wonder. Yeah.
If there's somebody doing actually great content and I like it, I will subscribe at some point. But if he's gonna tell me all the time, subscribe, I won't do it. To give you an example of somebody who really waves that all the time in your face, Mr. Beast. He does great videos. But at the part where he starts saying subscribe, I just skip ahead. And I definitely won't make more YouTube channels to subscribe to Mr. Beast. And that's my usual reaction to anybody who just yields subscribe to my channel at my face.
I can see that.
I think that's ultimately my fear, and I think a lot of these things are based on how we are as people. I'm a little bit that way too. Like if you're trying to make me do something, I'm going to do the opposite, which is definitely not the right way to do things. But it's definitely like if I feel like I'm being kind of manipulated into it, like I'm just like, okay, I don't want anything to do with this now. So I don't know. But that's good. That's good advice. And honestly, I feel like I'm learning too that it's really a lot less about the subscribers. It's just how many times people will watch it. Like if someone subscribes and they don't watch your stuff, it's almost like detrimental.
Yeah, by far my favorite metric is just watch time. Like when a video is doing well on average watch time, that's all that matters to me, because whoever's bothering to show up actually sticks around.
Yeah.
I think what you're saying is a pretty relevant thing. There is a German channel, 5 guys doing gaming stuff, and because they are so many, they put out a ton of videos, like very different stuff, 5 videos a day or something like that, and they have not been able to significantly grow for years just because not all of their subscribers watch all of their videos. There is subscribers who just stick around for 1 video per week. And others who maybe like 5 per week, and that definitely screws with you. So sometimes it's better to pop up on somebody random screen than have a subscriber not watch your videos.
Sorry, the chat's gotten pretty funny here.
Yeah, I'm trying to catch up a bit.
I lost who asked the initial question. But he's like, who's the other guy in chat? And then Spinnaker's like, the other guy as in Vega?
Yeah, John says DLLZ and somebody else. I laughed.
Oh, John, I didn't even see John's joke. That's hilarious.
Bremen and PWF are baiting you, saying that there's a new offer.
There's a new offer. All right, let's refresh the game. Dreamin's like there's definitely got to be a Marvel villain who like knows the buttons to push, right? Like they're like, I know how to make this person do like a puppeteer
Zemo.
style. Is it Zemo? Is that who it is? I mean, he definitely.
Well, that's my first thought.
Yeah. Is Duke here? I'm seeing Duke. Duke, what's up, man? What is up? Thank you for stopping by, buddy. Dreamin' is Psycho Man. Yeah, there we go. 20%, and you can get 2 of them. Oh,
there you go, John.
And they're coming with the tier 3 alpha too.
What a weird number.
Yeah, that is a weird number. 5,620. What the heck? What is that? If we multiply that by something, does it eventually like even out?
It's 12.5%.
I'm sure everyone's like, this is riveting. Vega pulled out a calculator. Oh, it was great.
I actually wondered about that the other day because I literally did use a calculator in one of my AQ vids, and I wondered if you could hear it on the playback.
You made a comment about it, right? I feel like this is sounding familiar that you did that.
I don't know that I said I pulled out a calculator, but I definitely did the math while doing the voiceover.
So this is one of those deals that I will get it. I know people are not going to like it. I don't know.
Well, if you get one, you kind of have to get both because of that weird number.
Thank you for giving me motivation. I was looking for a justification.
I'm sorry.
No, it's a weird number, and I don't like weird numbers. I like my numbers to be very normal. Because it will become a 50, which is cool. But I like 5s. Anyways, it's not going to be funny anymore. It's just going to be annoying. I think I'm actually getting it though for the guaranteed tier 5 CC. The fact that you can guarantee what you're getting. I think that's, for me, that's where I'm now at in this game. Like
I can understand that.
The reason
trying to get Doom.
Yeah, exactly. Right. If you were like, I get to select my Mystic Champion, yes, I will do that. And that's where I'm at. Is like that's the reason, one of the main reasons I gave up on the Shang-Chi Awakening grind is because I realized I was going to have to start spending, I think it was close to like 4 Odins in units. And I was like, I just don't want to do that. I just don't want to do that. My desire to spend those resources on the game has plummeted, while my desire to actually play the game and learn the champions has skyrocketed. And this is a good example, though, something where, yeah, I would do it because I have champions I would love to rank up. Like I have very specific. I'm almost definitely going to go mutant, and it's because I either want to take up Strife or I want to take up Professor X. I may wait until we see what Summer of Pain, and I can't think of what the other kind of Everest content. I can't think of what they're calling it. But I would imagine one or both of those champions will work exceptionally well for it. And so I will probably try to wait for that till that time, and then I'll take one of them up. So, yeah, Kai, it's Professor X. I mean, he's amazing. But honest, Gauntlet thing. Thank you. Let's go with Gauntlet thing. I like it. And so yeah. I mean, there's no reason for me to get this on stream, but I will definitely get it. Dream, did you get it, or did he already say? Oh, Moxie's here. What's up, Moxie? I can't believe I didn't say hi to Moxie yet.
Dreamin's making me laugh, saying that I'm spending your money.
Just one small thing on the perfect numbers. Whenever I have not a 0 or not a 5 on my unit count, I buy some Alliance tickets till I have a 0 or 5 again.
I like 5s. I like 0s. Tony Chinchilla, Vega, can you give me your top 3 or 4 mutant champions? You know what's weird is I do a whole rankings video and people ask me these questions and I completely blank. It's like a deer in the headlights. I'm like, Aegon. It is. I think it was Tater. She said this is that Apocalypse is not necessarily the best mutant, but it really feels like he's the MVP. I made a decision to rank Apocalypse before I ranked Professor X, and I really struggled with that one, and I went Apocalypse. And then that has led me down a line of ranking other champions who I enjoyed playing with Apocalypse, or I felt synergized well with him, or things like that. And as a result, my Professor X is still sitting at rank 2. And yet I do not believe that Apocalypse is necessarily a significantly better champion than Professor X. And I definitely don't think Cable, definitely on his own, is nowhere near as good as Professor X. But he just works so well with Apocalypse. So Mutant being so good, I really feel like it's, Omega Red, Archangel, of course, Red Magneto, Apocalypse. And then am I forgetting someone? I think those would maybe be my top 4.
One small question. Is your 6-star Professor X duped?
Oh, yeah. I think he's even like Sig 40 or something.
Quite funny that the 6-star is higher dupe and sooner duped than the 5-star.
He's only Sig 20, but yeah. Yeah. Those would be my top. I really like Strife, but I don't think he's in that category for sure. And I know people love Colossus. I just don't enjoy playing him that much. But I know I see the value in all of those things. Take up Professor Oakley. Yeah, I mean he's so good. I don't know. I hope to never see a 6-star Quake. I do too, not because mainly, and I think IP. We've talked about this so much on the server. I enjoy the conversation every time it comes up. But it's almost more because like I don't think Kabam knows how to handle her. And it's not their fault. Like, I wouldn't know how to handle her either. Meaning, like, as far as putting up content in war and things like that. That's the only reason I don't want a 6-star Quake. If the one came out, though, I would finally break down and learn how to use her. I don't know if I'd be able to learn to use her well, but I would do it. Moxie, Vega, I'm enjoying 7.2 and finally pulled Aegon. Dude, congratulations. Coming back for July 4th as I'm already Thronebreaker. I can get my new dude, that's awesome. And Aegon's such I know there's a lot of other options for Abyss. And obviously I don't watch every YouTube video that's out there. But I just can't imagine anyone being as good as Aegon. Like you just get Aegon and then you just build your team around him. So that's awesome. Congratulations, buddy.
Big question. Would you R3 Unawakened Professor X for Thronebreaker if I always run Suicides, or should I go with that? From Elliot Sloss.
You cut out there a little bit, but I'll look at Elliot's question.
Unduped Professor X or Havoc for Thronebreaker, but always Suicides. Whenever people say always Suicides, I always find myself tempted to negotiate with them. Like, okay, but really always? Because it locks off so many champions. But that said, if that's the way that you're playing, then I probably would go Havoc, because it does kind of lock off Professor X. I do agree with Kai's, though, that I don't think the dupe is the important part there.
Jeez, this one's really stumping me.
Goodbye, guys. Dinner is ready.
Oh, okay.
All right.
But I agree on the Havoc part.
You do? Okay. Thanks for stopping by, buddy. Have a great dinner, and it was great to hear you again.
Yeah. Have a great stream. Thanks, guys. See ya.
Of course. Take care.
Take care.
So I don't know if I'm just being like the defiant guy here on this one, and that's what I'm trying to analyze. Because my knee-jerk reaction to this is still go Professor X, because I believe him to be a significantly better champion. Not that Havoc's not good, but I think Professor X is just a tier better. I mean, I literally have them in tiers, and he's a tier better.
I would put him 2 tiers above, but the thing is that's because I don't like Suicides, and if I do turn them on, I always end up turning them off.
Yeah. I mean,
because recoil really messes with Professor X.
It definitely does. No argument there. And I really enjoy Professor X. I mean, I think that's obvious. I also think he's just a better champion. He can do more things.
He definitely can.
And so I guess if this is this 4th Thronebreaker, you may one day decide you don't want to run Suicides, or that you take them on or off. I don't know that, but that is a possibility in this game. And so I guess, and it's not like, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not a Havoc expert, but Havoc just is considered more suicide friendly because he's not throwing as many specials, because you can do the big damage off the SB3, right? It's not like Havoc has, he has no immunities, right, at all or anything?
No.
Okay. So I would say
Jacob says Havoc is, sorry, go on.
And then I'll get into some gameplay, and yeah, thank you for bringing us back to the chat. I would say I'd rather have like 2 to 4 awesome fights with Professor X than have like 5 with Havoc. That's how I would approach it. I think I'd still lean towards Professor X, and I think it's analyzing the question from a slightly different way. So that's me.
Yeah.
What's Jacob saying?
For me, well, Jacob was saying that he thinks Havoc is underrated, but says you just can't justify Charles with suicides. And that's kind of where I am, because I understand what you're saying about like the 2 great fights instead of 5 okay fights, but I actually very much lean the other way. Because sustain is such a huge part of getting through this game without the grind crushing you. Like, that's why in my AQ videos, I think I've talked in every single one about, look, all of the champions I'm running, or every week at least 2 out of 3, I'm running 2 out of 3 or 3 out of 3 healers. And there are other champions that could do the fights that I'm doing, especially if I spec'd into suicides, faster. And then I could like get on with my day. But if I did that, I would be spending multiple items every single day. And the way I currently have it set up, I can get through AQ on map 7 with all 5 stars in an alliance that has a fairly high prestige, where it's a bad day if I use items at all. And for me, that's the dream. So, I mean, it kind of depends. If you're looking at it and like you're looking at a lane and you go, okay, I'm bringing Professor X to counter these 2 or 3 people on that entire lane, then cool. Yeah, you can use them with suicides. But if you're looking at it where I'm going to run this lane with 7 champions with very high health pools with only Professor X, that's a lot of potions, especially if you're talking rank 3. Yeah, Duke, I am with you. If I ground out arenas more often, then I would definitely use suicides more, because, you know, the arenas would pay for them. But I don't, so I don't.
You know, a question though. What is in 2 fights? How high does Professor X get the poison resistance on mutants? Does someone have? I would like to look that up, but I'm in the middle of this fight.
I'm looking it up. 1 second.
I'm also like I said, I'm a huge Professor X fan.
Yeah,
maybe even irrationally so.
8 in 2 fights, he'd have what was that, 36?
Okay, so that's not enough to.
I mean, you'd heal a bit, but
would you?
And again, you have to bring one of those 3 champions.
And who are they again? They're pretty good champions, right? Or at least one of them isn't.
Wolverine, either the Wolverines or Colossus.
Yeah, I knew Colossus was up there. I don't know. I definitely am not going to try to say that DLL or anyone here is wrong, because every point they've made, I think, is accurate and true and makes sense. Oh, Havoc is Incinerate immune, takes reduced damage from Energy Dot. So that's Nyla's got a good point.
Havoc's not bad.
I still think for me, it's less about Havoc. It's more about how good I think Professor X is. This is 4th Thronebreaker, and so I feel like that's like a centerpiece of a team. And if you can take up a champion that's like that definitively good, that's a big benefit, you know? Like, I'm excited for anyone that takes up a champion for Thronebreaker, but the better that champion gets, the more quickly you'll hear me be like, dude, that's awesome. And so...
But then it starts to feel like you're kind of doing what I said I was trying not to do, with like negotiating with them. Like, take up Professor X, he's amazing. Yeah. He'll convince you to drop suicide.
Yeah. And maybe that is underlying my reasoning. Like, the whole reasoning is based on a foundation of, you know, he'll eventually see how good Professor X is, and then he'll take off suicides. Maybe that's under there. I just haven't self-evaluated enough. What's up, Snoops? How you doing, buddy?
Because that is definitely my instinct. I think the list of champions that you, quote, can't play with suicides is so long and so cool that You know, I would say I missed it, right? Ethan is saying that Havoc was his first R3,
and he almost always runs suicides. And so, and Ethan, I assume you're saying that. I think it's pretty clear you're very happy with your decision. So
yeah, definitely not complaining. I'll be right back.
Yeah. Yeah, the guys. I mean, Havoc is obviously very good. You're bringing up a lot of stuff that I just don't know. I just, off the top of my head, can't think of about him. All right, and I see why you're talking about arenas with Duke. How many 6-star champions do I have? We can take a quick look. All of them. So let's just look at who I think it'll be easier if we look at it this way. Here's who I don't have. That Fury always stands out. And then Voodoo. I'm excited for Voodoo coming into the game as a 6-star. I think we're going to start seeing a lot more Voodoo usage. And I am excited about Medusa. When I saw that, I was trying to figure out, like, would I instantly R3 her? And I think she's at least in that conversation. I think she's at least in the conversation. She does have the immunity. And turning off robots, I know there's other champions who can do that now. I would love to get Mojo, but it's almost like a blessing for my account that I don't have him, because I really think that I think I'd be tempted to awaken him, and I'm not sure that's a good idea. Yeah, you're right. We can do this for the incursions page. I haven't done that before, but thank you. That's a good point. And then where do you go from here to see it? Is it edit team? No.
What are you looking for?
A quick way to see exactly how many 6-stars I have.
Mm-hmm.
I know that people have done it from the incursions, but I don't remember how. View rewards. Thank you. And what's the next step?
Probably, how do I know what tier I am or something?
View all. Why am I not seeing view all?
Duke says Voodoo will probably wreck Terrax boxes or bosses. Yeah, very likely. Big fan of Voodoo. I also just used the gem I got from completion to take Psylocke to rank 2, and I hope we run into a Terrax boss in off season so I can try that.
So it looks like it's 160. It looks like, there we go. And you're excited to see me grind out Stealthy. I will attack that arena grind. Like, not at all. Like, not even any way, shape, or form. I do want to try to do the milestones, though, because as I was talking about with my desire to spend units and things like that, I would like to just hit the milestones, get the units from things. It just feels like I said, I'm enjoying that portion of the game more and more and more. I don't regret ranking of Havoc. He's great to have around. However, if I had pressure, I'd probably take him up over Havoc. Oh, okay. Well, I'm reading that as the you can't go wrong, actually. That's how I'm going to read that. That's how I'm choosing to read that. You can't go wrong. Duke. Yeah. I think I think people will remember how good Voodoo is. Let's put it that way. And DLL's been talking about him a lot, and it makes a lot of sense. Yeah, it was a reason to flex. Yeah, kind of, huh? All right, what am I doing here? I think this is where I was going to use White Magneto. I kind of now I'm feeling like I don't want to call him White Magneto. I think we need to make up a better name for him too. But all in due time. What else could we call him?
I think Janik normally just calls him House of X.
Yeah, I think that might be the way to go. Although it doesn't feel quite as weird because of, like I said, it's the red Magneto portion or the red Guardian portion that makes me feel a little bit more weird about white.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think my girlfriend actually laughed at me the other day because she was just walking by while we were on stream, and I said something about White Magneto, and she goes, "Is there a Black Magneto?" And then you like combine them, and they form Gray Magneto, and it's a Captain Planet situation.
Okay, first of all, props to her for knowing all of that.
She's laughed about, like, there is so much Marvel knowledge in my head that I did not choose to put there.
It's always weird for me when Kingpin has a very passive AI.
Oh god, people are saying wags. Nope, passed. I don't mind X Mags. Mags X would kind of with Storm. Sabby says you can call them rags and wags. Ugh. Nope. Nope.
I can't do wags, and here's why: is I hear that term, and I don't know if this is still a term, but wasn't that a British term for the wives and girlfriends of football players? Correct me if I'm wrong.
I would not know, but that would definitely make me slow to use it.
If Work or Jacob is in, I think they would know. They would know the. Oh man, I accidentally pushed into his SP2. Why did I do that?
Dreamin says Wags is Michael Wagner.
Did anyone see that high levels Silver Surfer play just now? I think credit is.
I mean,
deserved.
I did see you. You got the evade, right? Or did you just block it?
No, I used his miss mechanic.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I really like running. I wish that Classic Hulk and Doctor Strange were better, because Surfer feels way more fluid with that synergy.
This has made me want to dive into Surfer more. That's for sure.
Yeah, he's a lot of fun. Jacob says you're right.
That's right. So, so we've already got confirmation that Wags is wives and girlfriends?
Yeah, Work says yes, too.
Yeah. Like, in fact... So
as does Richard Belding. Everyone knows.
Well, I immediately thought of David Beckham's wife. I had a picture of Posh Spice in my head. So it's like, oh, great. Poor white Magneto has now become Posh Spice. Like, I don't think I can do that to him.
Either of them.
Oh, man. Victoria, yes, that's right. OG Highline, what is up, dude? Coming in strong. Mr. Belding, same reason I know it is I dated a girl in college who was in love with the Spice Girls. So maybe it's not the exact... Oh, yeah, there you go. Oh, yes, my wife. Apparently you married the woman. But yeah, that's why I know. That's why I know anything about the Spice Girls. Anyways. All right, getting this updated.
Got a super chat.
Yeah. What's up, man? Thank you so much for stopping by, and of course, always for the donations. Let us know if you have a question or anything, man. We'd love to answer it or get some conversation going on it. I know David Beckham. Yeah, he's pretty good at sports, right? Vega's college stories should be on the Vega. Yeah, I know, Jacob. I started to go into that, and then I was like, how quickly can I back out of this one? My wife is brilliant, hardworking, great job, loves trash TV. Yeah, I'm with. I understand this. I completely understand this. It's a real thing, right? I love playing this game too much. It is what it is. I think I decided I was going to take out Hitmonkey. That was a big part of this whole team. You know what was cool? I learned last night is the champion you bring in actually comes in at full health.
Yep, I have made a lot of use of that so far.
That's a really nice change. Or was that how 7.1 is and I just don't remember it?
Yeah, it is how 7.1 is. It's just not how incursions are.
Got it. Dude, you're getting me addicted to using the White Magneto pre-fight to fight Hitmonkey.
Yeah, you were like, oh, I don't need it. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I mean, you got it.
If you got it, use it. Yeah, exactly. Like, I cannot judge someone for watching the Kardashians when I play this game as much as I do. No. Autocorrect Nyla, you turd? What Nyla?
Richard Belding was talking about how, like, when I talk to my friends about Marvel stuff, it's the nerdiest conversation ever. And I was just thinking back to, like, I went out with friends last night, and we didn't talk about Marvel, but that it's a bunch of lawyers who also enjoy Lord of the Rings. Most of us are, like, ex-band kids. There was no way that that was not going to be extremely nerdy.
But what does nerdy mean anymore? Like, honestly,
Right.
I mean, it's been this way for a long time.
I think it just means that you know about and care about something that you wouldn't expect a random person you walk up to on the street to also know and care about. But I'm not in love with that definition either because I don't want to sound like I'm gatekeeping.
Well, and also, like, now I forgot to even punish. I'm getting involved in this conversation a lot. But
This fight was so much fun with SPX, man.
Yeah, that's true. That's your like your 200,000 SP3?
No, this one, it's just because when you knock down Hitmonkey, he purifies things, and if you still have a stun on him, he will purify the stun, and then she will place a passive stun. So if you parry him and then immediately knock him down, you can then go in and combo him again.
Yeah.
And that combined with, Life Cycle and her big specials, it was a very good time.
I still like my Archangel, but it's good to know there's other answers. DLL was flexing his friends. He was like, I went out with some lawyers,
Maybe a little bit.
some doctors, and some very, very, very intelligent people. Not as smart as me, but
They all just graduated. I'm allowed to flex for them.
You should. That's awesome. That's awesome. Where was I going with that? I was going somewhere, but it doesn't matter anymore. Should we do one more lane? Are you going to be around for a bit?
Yeah, I'm just waiting for pizza to come out of the oven.
Nice.
Jacob says, I caught my girlfriend watching Pretty Little Liars once. Can't really judge. Yeah, I mean, because the way that my girlfriend and I talk about it is that both of us have our trash shows, right? Like the things where we're like, we unapologetically enjoy this, but we are not saying that we enjoy this because it is high art. And that's just okay. Like we watch some things together because we do consider it like high art, great entertainment, great television, whatever. And we watch some things because we just want to like laugh and feel things, and sometimes pretty lights, right? And sometimes we go into things thinking that they're going to be one category and they end up being the other.
This is an interesting combination. What are we laughing about?
Okay, Nilo. Don't be. Nilo says, "Look at Jacob and DLL flexing that they have girlfriends."
Yeah. Oh, girlfriends. Very cool. That's what I was going with. The whole like nerdy or dorky or whatever. I mean, again, been this way for an extremely long time. I realize I'm not the one who like created it, though. I'm not trying to take credit for this. But I remember a very long time ago being like, look, if that's nerdy, then I'm a nerd. And I'm totally cool with that, And it feels like it makes no sense to say those things anymore because like those things are so incredibly popular now. But again, I don't care. You guys know I'm old. But back when I was like in college or after college, it'd be like, dude, that's kind of dorky. It'd be like, well, then I guess I'm a dork, But I'm going to be the dork who's having a lot of fun. So anyways. And I just don't feel like that's being said anymore. In fact, I feel like it's almost like that's become cool as I look at, younger generation.
It's cool to have something that you're passionate about.
Yeah. Or like when we were talking about Dungeons and Dragons, right? And it came up in a chat and someone was like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, are you kidding me? I wish I had played that when I was a kid. I wish that like I hadn't thought like, oh, I play sports. I don't really do Dungeons and Dragons. Like I wish I had gotten over that at 8 or 9 or 10 or whatever instead of waiting.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. So this is a weird note because I would think I would have an amazing answer for this, and I really want to try to figure this out. It's I don't know if you can
that
see
one. Yeah, what's the first part again?
So
I remember looking at that.
This is the one where they're stunned for 15 seconds, right? And but when they wake up, they're going to hit hard. It's got flare, so we're going to hit hard, right?
Right.
But then
you need to use an XL champion.
Yeah. This is where it gets.
This is the one I was thinking. I feel like people who have a rank 3
Hulk?
Immortal Hulk are going to have a really good time. Yep. See, that's what we're seeing in the chat.
Hulk and Cole. Okay. Well, I don't.
Dawson says hype stacking Furies because his heavies won't glance.
Let's try. This is a perfect example of like I am not concerned with. I'd rather test this out and flail than try to like do this the perfect answer. So let's go ahead and do this. Buddy Lee, what's up, man? iHulk. Of course, Buddy Lee would know where iHulk is also.
He has been summoned.
Yeah. If you're curious about iHulk, make sure you check out Buddy Lee's channel. Do yourself a favor. And while we're plugging stuff, DLL is doing a run with Spinnaker 3, a very, very cool content creator, lots of Mojo stuff and Guardian 2. And I think you guys know DLL, but if you don't, check out his channel. You will be a better player if you do it. And they are doing an incursions run together this Saturday, I believe at 1 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, which would make it 4 o'clock Eastern. DLL, if I'm incorrect about any of that, please correct me, though.
Yeah, that sounds right. We still need to... I think Spinnaker hasn't streamed yet, so we still need to make sure that it actually is technically feasible, but assuming that works.
So you guys are going to do two separate streams. One it will be his, and one will be yours?
I think that's the plan, yeah. I may look at seeing if I can host his stream on mine, or vice versa. But I think the easiest thing is probably for us just both to stream, because it's not like we necessarily want to prioritize one channel over the other if we're both doing it. And those who want to watch both can probably do like a split screen or something.
Okay. Well, either way, can we get a link to their channels put into the chat just so people can make sure they can check it out, stuff like that?
Yeah. Let me go find spins real quick.
Just use mediums with Corvus. Roxas, what's up, buddy? I didn't see you in the chat earlier. I apologize if you said hi and I didn't catch you. Yeah, maybe we'll try Corvus. I'm not running Suicides though, so I'm wondering if he'll be able to do it. You can do most of it with a 5-star R3 Hulk. I have to admit, I have not watched enough of Buddy's iHulk videos to even pretend I know how to play iHulk. Like I watch them a couple, and I'm like, oh, that looked really interesting. I need to dive into that more.
I think for this fight, you wouldn't even need to do that, though. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat, but I believe the idea for using iHulk on that lane is you literally just do mediums the whole time.
Sorry, we have to stop this. Did you see what Sugar Tax has written? My wife never cared that I brought my laptop to bed and played for hours. Unfortunately, my ex-wife didn't feel the same about my gambling. Oh, that cracked me up. I found that hilarious. Watch out for Warlocks. Some people are saying he's bugged. Oh, it might be because they use Chorus and reduce tech. Are we not allowed to reduce ability accuracy?
Shocking.
Okay.
Command broke ability accuracy.
That's
I'm blown away.
Yeah, best team for EQ Legends run. I don't know. That's how I got my Legends title like forever and ever ago. I would assume it's still like a Corvus or Ghost team. I know there's a lot of theorizing that Odin would be important for that. Roxas has been lurking. Nice. I like it. Thanks, buddy. Thank you for linking both of those channels. Let's go ahead and pin. We'll pin DLLs. But check them out, guys. Seriously, you'll become better at the game, and they're both very entertaining, too.
Yeah, Spinnaker has a lot of really good stuff on... Mojo is his pet project, but he's also very good with Guardian.
All right, so let's go ahead and jump in on this. If I remember correctly, Immortal Abomination will be good for the boss. We said we would at least have fun and try hype. I think... Yeah, Cosmic Ghost Rider size medium, unfortunately, because he's who was...
You can filter by size, right?
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure we get hype, because I'm going to go extra large. And then hype's large, I believe.
Right.
Let's get the big boys out.
You do have... That's a rank 2 Venom?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's probably one of the best.
Man, I gotta... Wait, why isn't...
You're still filtered by Cosmic.
I was like, wow, my roster's really limited.
Because Kingpin has to be decent. Warlock and Apocalypse would be kind of slow to rank. What about Sasquatch? Would he be able to get an L2 off in time?
I don't... It was only 15 seconds, wasn't it?
Yeah. But I mean, 15 seconds where you don't have to bait or parry.
And Kingpin, yeah, as you were saying.
Oh yeah, because you can just heavy with Kingpin. I don't know what. shouldn't have even asked.
What about Hulkbuster? A bunch of heavies land the shocks and then just go in and beat down.
Yeah, that could do it too. If I-bomb is all you need for the boss, you can just switch him in later.
Well, let's have fun. Let's try it. Let's see what happens. And the worst thing that happens is we start over.
Yeah, Josh is saying Hulkbuster.
All right, let's go use Ghost and I didn't, and it worked. Y2P, I'm sorry, I'm not understanding. Maybe you're talking with other people in the chat. So Corvus killed Howard, gets a check charge, then he reduces the tech champ. I always forget about that. About that. That's a really good call, Dawson. Thank you. All right, let's go ahead and have some fun with this. Strange Raven. Oh, you did use CGR, but he's only medium. Probably a way of playing that I'm not thinking of.
Yeah.
Or maybe he just does so much damage that it didn't matter that some hits got glanced.
Yeah.
No heavy in SP2.
They just heavied their way to the special 2. Is that what that said?
I don't know. I'm not fully understanding. I'm not trying to be difficult. I think they're saying they used Ghost and maybe just got to the SP2. Even with glance, Ghost still destroys. I understand. Yeah, you know what? There was a lane that felt like it was shouting out to use Ghost in yesterday's stream. And I was like, that's not what I'm trying to do. Like, if I do a video on like best options, of course I'll include her and things like that. But and I'm not like going out of my way to die. But at the same time, I want to have fun. I want to try to test stuff, and maybe we find something that works, or it's just kind of fun to get done. OG Highline in 7.1, did you run suicides? I ran no suicides. Or did it just depend? Internet sucks, so I might have missed the answer. I didn't see the question, buddy. I really apologize. And thank you for repeating it. It's never spamming if I just don't see a question and you repeat it. For 7.1, unfortunately, I had a concussion for quite a bit of it, so I remember less of it than I normally do. But I know for a fact I would sometimes run suicides and sometimes take them off. I don't mind switching back and forth if I need to, or if it's going to save me units in the long run.
But he's dropping some. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of was, but so it really just depended on which champions I was using at the time. All right, so
he was just dropping some iHulk knowledge. Says that because iHulk stores 60% of degen damage as gamma radiation, he's even better for this path. That makes a lot of sense.
I meant what I said, and I kind of regretting that I didn't just say it at the time because I wasn't fully ready. Like I said, I've watched some of the videos, but there's a difference between, I think, watching a video and like really diving in and then playing the champion and testing it. But in the latest ranking video, I think I put it in there because I had to edit it quite a few times to cut it down. It was like 40 minutes long. Is that iHulk was a champion that I really felt, especially depending on nodes, could it significantly increase in value in this game. And there's people like Buddy who are starting to show us that, like, no, he's actually not bad. And then if the game continues to put in certain nodes, this could be an example of it. This just did Vega still destroyed. Yeah, I had a lot of fun. I mean, I know I had fun. I remember that. All right.
This dim memory of, what do you call it?
Yeah.
Fun?
It was, I remember enjoying things. All right, so we're just going to go in. We're going to heavy with hype and see what happens. SP2, I would think, yes?
Yeah, probably, once you get those heavies up.
I should have dashed in first, I think.
Yeah, because you definitely don't want to go for the L3 because Howard has so much armor. It's so frustrating using his L3 against champs with armor.
I can't remember the last time I missed a Howard L1 evade.
Days since disaster.
I don't
reset the counter.
I don't feel like that went exceptionally well regardless, though.
Yeah, I think it's the 5-star problem, and this is what we were talking about earlier with flare nodes suck.
Okay, so here's the thing with this. This is why I think we might be able to do it. If you explain this afterwards, guys. So with Sasquatch, let's go ahead and look at his.
That was beautiful.
This is why I was thinking he might work, especially when you're like, can you quickly get to your SP2? And I was like, if I land the heavies on, because check this out, this is pretty cool if they did this for him. We'll see how it works out in the other fights. And I want to make sure I get it right. That's why I'm checking it out instead of just saying it. But this is kind of a cool piece of utility he has.
Sorry, go on.
That's
Pizza's
right.
Ready.
Nice. Now I'm hungry. Okay, so he inflicts a stagger, right? Off the heavy. We all saw that. And then, where is it? Let me get to why he was gaining power so fast. I am also running 5/5 Mystic Dispersion. Where is it? I've made a big deal about it. Man, where is it? Oh my gosh, I can't find it. Oh, there it is. So the gain of 25% combat power rate if the opponent has a buff, which he obviously had, or if you have the stagger up, right? So you're going to be gaining power.
Right,
quite
and plus 50% if they have 4 or more, and Howard has starts with a ton.
So it might not
That's
go.
very cool.
It might not go as quickly in the other fights. Let's see. Predictions for I don't have any. I'm just recently becoming like to the point where I'm paying attention to potentially getting the champion. Before it was really just about kind of milestones, getting some units, and screwing around with some champions. But if there's anyone who feels like they have an educated prediction, please get that out there. Let's get that information out there. I know that I was predicting much higher scores than I was hearing for the 6-star, and I feel like those ended up kind of coming true. I'm curious how high this last round of Shang-Chi is going to go for, because I am aware of people who are going for the dupe, who went for the first round or going for the dupe, and then I know people who did not go for round 1 who are going for round 2. So I'm curious. I hope it goes down because I would like to try to grind out some champions. But yeah. Oh, none of them crit.
I feel like I always forget when I use Tigra against Guardian that the 4th hit of his 5-hit special one is not a projectile.
Guardians.
I always forget at least once, get smacked in the face, and then I'm like, okay, no. Dash back from that one, and then you can phase the next one.
And it's interesting. I agree with what Jacob's saying. Well, I don't necessarily agree with it, but what I do think is I think I-Bomb should go for a lot more than Stealthy. Based on comments on my ranking video, though, I feel like Stealthy may still go for more. It feels like he's carrying a little more, not in-game prestige, but just like general prestige in the community's eyes, where I think I-Bomb is still a little harder for the community to wrap their mind around why he's good. That's my sense. So I'm curious.
Fair enough. BRB.
Yeah. All right. And we got poor little Rocket here. Let's check out. Let's check out Venom. Let's see how our boy Venom does. I've already missed one projectile evade on this path. Let's see if I can miss another one. So just in, Venom is good for this fight against Rocket. If anyone did not know already, Venom is very good for that fight. That's a rank 2 Venom. And the 6-star basic arena. Dude, Mr. Belding, you might be onto something there. You might be onto something. It is fun. I have to say, as much as I was quick, I said I'd be quick to cut out on the Shang-Chi arena, because I didn't want to get to the point where I was like, okay, and I did the math. If I did like 7 to 8 hours of constant refreshing, It was going to be, though, like about 4 Odins and boosting. Time-wise, I could have done that. But I was like, I already have them, like, just to save an Awakening Gem, and I have a skill Awakening Gem. And so many people on the few videos I made on him were like, dude, he doesn't need a high sig. Just get him Awakened. I thought, like, let's just, why do all of that? Why spend all those units for it? So I didn't. And maybe we'll put those units towards an opening with Mr. Negative. Don't want to spoil today's video, but I may be particularly interested in that. This is working out very well too. But he's not going to be blocking, is he? Didn't matter. Okay, so Hulkbuster good, Venom good. This just in. Awakening Gem is less. Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, I know that Kabam wouldn't sell one for 4 Odins, but it's just, I don't know. It just didn't feel right. $50 arena, I got lucky with 6. Dude, Mr. Belding. That's awesome. Jacob Sigwin is fine for Shang. Yeah. So it's just hard though, because I had really hoped his prestige would be off the charts. But you know, you can't get everything you want, and maybe they'll hold on to that. But I have all those skill 6 stones that I'm waiting for a champion to do that with. On some level though, I don't really need the, you know, one of the highest prestiges in the game anymore. That's not a mode of the game I'm trying to play. And so maybe I should just get over it. I'm not totally sure what I'm going to do there. I'm going to race to my SB2 now. See if I can't do that. I think I played that very poorly with all those heavies in the beginning too. I was really not wanting him to throw his SP1. Let's see if we can't finish him off. At least we finished him off though. Ever remove his armor, Vega? Yeah, I think I just did too many. I fell in love with heavy in there, and that was a bad move. I think we will more after he's tested more, in my opinion. Kai, is you talking about Shang-Chi? So no one's going to talk about our new Mr. Negative. Yeah, we may be doing a Mr. Negative testing tomorrow, which is weird because I'm not on the CCP. How could we have a Mr. Negative? I think you guys all know the answer to that, but I'll see if DLL is available. And I'll be trying to get a lot more information on Mr. Negative on the Discord server, just getting people's different questions and things they'd like to see tested out. Because I think there's a lot there in that kit. I think there's a lot there. Are you going to do 7.2.5? Probably not on this stream, Y2P. Probably going to have to go. Actually, I'm seeing the time. I will. But we'll finish this up. So the 7.2.5 will probably be next week or something like that. But I think there's a lot in Mr. Negative's kit that's there. He looks very interesting to play. I'm concerned about what kind of like his flow and how it all fits together. I know that there's people on the server like Felgernos, DLL, Spinnaker, who think he could be very good, and there might be a variety of ways to play him. And I do want to test those, and I think that's something that should be tested with a group. And so streaming it makes the most sense to me for that.
Yeah, I think he's going to be very interesting.
You're back. You think you can make a testing stream tomorrow?
Most likely.
Okay. So, Venom and Hulkbuster were incredible for this.
I believe it. Venom's probably going to be my main option. I don't think I really have anything else.
Yeah, the Warlock fight was a little interesting, but that was my fault. I just started heavying like crazy when I shouldn't have. But he still handled it. You can see he's almost dead though.
Oh, actually, I have a rank 4 Howard.
That might be a lot of
That'll
fun
work.
too. Negative has the most interesting kit this year, I think. Yeah, it's definitely interesting. There's a lot there, and it looks like it could be very fun, but I don't know, Meta. Just some initial like 20 minutes of screwing around with him. Uh, but I'm very open to the idea that those 20 minutes might not be everything. All right, so
He does not look easy to use, and I don't mean just in a skill cap way. I mean in a complicated way.
Yeah,
Like you said that you felt like, Mr. Fantastic had been in the game for a while. You basically understood how he worked, but you watched me talk about his abilities for 20 minutes all the same, and you're like, oh, there's new stuff in there. I feel like Mr. Negative's going to be one of those.
yeah, and that's definitely me though too. Like, that's just who I am and how I am. Like, that's why I've watched Buddy Lee's iHulk videos. But I need to then go play the champion, and and I no joke, like a rank 3, an R3 video that usually takes me about a week. Like, I play them, I kind of read through their abilities, okay, then I go and play them again. I realize all these mistakes I made, and it takes about a week. That's just how I am. Very rarely do I just pick up a champion. I'm like, oh, I know how to play them.
I mean, that makes a lot of sense to me. I mean, I recorded the footage for my read video fairly quickly, but that's because I've been doing that for a long time. For you to make those rank 3 videos with champions that you don't play as often,
yeah,
that's a huge undertaking.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate you. I appreciate you saying that, because I felt bad. Like, there was even a question about like White Magneto came up the other day. I think it was last night. And it's like, I know the answer. It's filed away somewhere, but I cannot think of it. Ever heard of Spider-Ham? Why is Spider-Ham coming up? Because he's cool.
Degen.
Yeah. Spider-Ham's awesome. I very much like Spider-Ham. Okay,
so I would definitely love to use Mr. Negative on some of these flare paths or some of those other things. I think that'd be very cool. Oh, this guy. Yeah, this is the one I was using She-Hulk on him yesterday while on stream.
So basically, his specials are unblockable. I don't have any power gain buffs except for height, but I'm not going to be using him. Flare, so we'll hit harder, but it's power shield, so it's only through specials.
But you should outlive it because of willpower healing.
And high energy diet, so just don't...
Well, actually, hold on. Let me knock on wood. You will outlive it if you don't get hit.
Well, I'm gonna do like a test run with the champion. Just so I'll probably do 2, just to see, because it's Immortal Abomination is the one who I think will really get the fight done.
Yeah. Ethan says very difficult to just pick up a new champ. Recently been using iHulk a lot. Learning how to use him well was a frustrating experience. For sure. Like, I've talked before about... I'm a big fan of Elsa, but the first few times I tried using her, I just could not get the timing right, turning her counter into a combo. And it was extremely frustrating. And then I got it, and I've maybe missed it once in the past few months. And that's how a lot of those go. I use the EQs to practice this a lot. Even though the health pools aren't that big, uncollected EQ can be interesting for that because it doesn't have the more complicating nodes of the higher difficulty. And like when I first decided to learn how to use Ghost, when I first decided to learn how to use Tigra, when I was trying to really understand the ins and outs of Mr. Fantastic, I just ran a ton of content with them, even fights that they didn't look optimal for, because that's how you don't just want to know what can this champion do when you play them perfectly against the perfect opponent and nothing weird happens or nothing's working against you, because that's like the core of maybe why they're good, but you want to fully appreciate all of the other stuff. Well, if I'm forced into this situation, can this champion still get me through? Because if so, then they're pretty good. Like, that's another thing that's good about them, right? Yeah, Buddy Lee saying I was close to putting iHulk on the bench before I made a few adjustments. Sometimes champs don't have, it's not obvious the best way to play them. I agree, it's definitely fun figuring it out.
I knew I was going to die. I was hoping to kind of do the SP3 stun lock and then the heavy race back up to the SP2. He didn't play ball. I'm not sure it would have really worked in this fight anyway. I don't think there's enough damage there. I was just kind of explaining what I was doing there if anyone was wondering. Just watch someone also solo Grandmaster with Ghost and all in the face. Wow.
That sounds like they were using the juiced node then.
Yeah.
The one where your damage just goes up and up and up the longer you stay alive, and they were using the intercept to keep the timer going. That sounds kind of fun, though.
Keeping up Red Guardian's traumas a little and stacking them has been a pain for me. Jacob, what SIG? What SIG you got him at? Tiger destroys this fight? Right on. I see Vega getting hit by projectiles because of failed decks. LOL. I'm glad someone enjoyed it.
Meta says Carl soloed with Ghost the same way via Juiced.
Juiced is the node, I assume.
Yeah, it's one of those rule sets where you take down the linked node and then that rule set is active.
Okay.
I wasn't even looking at them, but it was the first one I did, and I didn't solo him because I misunderstood the Killmonger node only reflects special damage, and so I killed off Reed rather spectacularly. But if I had actually understood that, then I think it would have been a solo, because that rule set, it basically just means you have to stay alive. Very easy. I was still learning the fight with Killmonger, second try ever, and I was like, oh, she's dead.
Did I just heal him up?
Oh, that's an energy attack?
I just healed him up, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
I was not expecting that.
I didn't know that the acid spit was an energy attack.
I feel like that's something that people should learn or be told in advance. You might stream it talking about how good I-Bomb is, and then... wow.
It would be kind of nice.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it makes sense, and I honestly couldn't even think of why I healed him up. But I-Bomb doesn't care, because that's how good I-Bomb is. Wow, that was interesting. So it's considered... But the other... I think we should go through and read his SP2, because the poison damage was not healing him up, and he was taking poison damage, correct? I feel like I saw a lot of red.
Mm-hmm.
That was really weird.
Buddy Lee says it's nice they put Juiced in there for completion. I didn't even look at the links ahead of time. Yeah, I think that very well might be why they did it. Because that could be kind of a frustrating fight. I mean, you shouldn't die if you play at a very high level, basically with anyone. But Juiced definitely makes it easier, and I think you're probably right that they did that for completion reasons.
To give your champion
especially
steroids. Go for it.
I was just going to say, especially because they seem to be taking the tactic with Act 7 that this is supposed to be easier content. And so, like, that just plays into the consensus being, oh yeah, do your completion run for 7.2. Just run through, complete everything. Don't explore anything until you're done completing everything. So, like, they probably would have gotten a lot of kickback if there wasn't a juiced node to just make it funny.
That's a good point.
MSD says it's very hard to die on Gwen with prior knowledge of the fight. I kind of agree, yeah. Like I said, I didn't fully understand the interaction at the Killmonger node, so I ended up killing myself, but that was basically that was the only reason I was in any danger, and I just, like, watched your Doom solo at 2x speed once, and read through her abilities once.
I'm not seeing anything that would lead me to believe that that's... I mean, I guess it doesn't necessarily not make sense that that's energy damage, right?
They just don't tell you that stuff.
Yeah, you just got to...
It's kind of like that Mysterio's fourth light attack is a projectile. It's very easy to not know that until you try and heal block OG Daredevil and he evades.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's almost kind of, again, it's like part of the charm of the game that we figured these things out. And obviously it was fine. But still, it's interesting. All right. All right, everybody. I gotta go. Thank you, everyone who stopped by. This was an absolute blast. I'm gonna try to put together a testing stream tomorrow. Testing Mr. Negative, having some fun with that, and then maybe we'll do some arena, just kind of chill and hang out and talk. Hopefully DL can make it. He and I will talk off stream. MSD, what's up, dude? Sorry, to sign off just as you're stopping by. But this is an absolute blast hanging out. You know, literally all of you. This makes this all so much fun. And DL, anything to add, buddy?
Yeah. Take care, guys.
Take care, everybody.